How is it going, guys? My name is Onesie Bennett, and welcome back to Katawa Shojou. And I feel like we're actually going to get somewhere and find out whose route we're actually on in this episode. So this should be really interesting. We'll find out. At least I hope we can get there. It's crowded in the hallway, or as crowded as hallways in this school probably get. Most of the students seem to be heading down for the cafeteria. Hizao! Oh god, no, it's you! I'm gonna make you a one-time only super extra special lunch offer. Emmy's homemade lunch boxes and the privilege of enjoying them in private with two bombshell beauties. Her overly flirtatious sales pitch echoes in the hallway, a remarkable feat since it's full of people. Emmy strikes a very confident looking pose as though an attempt to one-up her own ridiculousness, puffing out her very modest chest and making the V for victory sign with her hand. Yeah! Sounds delicious. To what do I owe the honour of being invited? You stood there looking really lost and sad, so I thought you could use some company. That is probably the most depressing reason imaginable. So how about it? You're probably really lonely and would eat that awful cafeteria food all alone otherwise. I'm kidding. Sure, I'll have your lunch offer, with pleasure. Let's go to the roof. Oh god. The roof? Why the roof? Because that's where we eat lunch. And if I don't get up there, she'll probably wander off, and then I just know she'll go hungry because she never packs a lunch for herself. Who will? Come with me. I'll be Rin. Without answering my question or waiting for a response, she grabs me by the arm and drags me through the hallways. I attempt to make conversation on the way. Why do you have an extra lunch? Emmy smiles guiltily. Actually, it's yesterday's lunch. I slipped in a run at lunch and forgot to eat it. Huh? Huh, indeed! Emmy never ever forgets to eat. What's that? Why? No, that's not good. Maybe she's been even more upset. Oh well, that's interesting. The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with missing padlock. I wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed the lock. Emmy shoves the door open and steps beaming into the sunlight. Suddenly a tall dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Emmy flinches back, almost falling down the stairs. Eek! Hello. Yipes, you scared me, Rin. Wait, isn't she... Hello. Noticing that Rin is speaking to me, Emmy looks curiously at me. You two know each other? I look confusedly at Emmy. She's that friend of yours? Rin has turned her gaze towards the clouds drifting above the school. I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy. The awkward silence lasts only for a few seconds until Emmy lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off. I invited his out for lunch. If you know him, that's just better. Oh, does this mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? Neither. I have food for 3. Nice thinking. For God's sake. I've already seen this conversation. I wonder if I can skip it. Let's have a look. Yep, I can skip it. We've seen this conversation before. I don't think I want to sit through this again. Because everything up until then has been new. The whole of the last episode was completely new. So, here we are. Something new. I guess I still need to buy some supplies. I can't live off cafeteria food and eating out for my entire stay here. I mean, you could, but it wouldn't be fun. As I leave for the gate, I make a few loud stretches and try to stave off the tiredness that's accumulated over the week. After passing through and rounding the corner, though, I see a solitary figure walking downhill towards a small town below. The colour of her hair and tapping of her cane are unmistakable. I quickly walk up to her, which seems to catch her attention without a word needing to be said. Hi, Lily. She takes a moment to place the voice, slightly adjusting her head to face a bit more towards the source of my voice as she does. Hizao? Yep, that's me. She seems to have a good memory for voices. The fact that she actually remembered is a pleasant surprise. Good evening. What brings you here? Once again, she gives a small polite bow, and once again, I reply in kind before realizing that I needn't do so. Just going into town. You? My, what a coincidence. Doing the same thing, eh? I usually go shopping on Fridays. She pauses for a moment, suddenly looking a little lost. That said, Hanako usually comes into town with me. Ah, not lost, but worried. The two do seem to keep some pretty close tabs on one another. It's kind of surprising that Hanako would just forget Lily like that. I noticed her reading in the library. She probably just got caught up in a book. She lets out a small sigh of relief. Thank you. She has a habit of doing that. Avid reader? Right. She doesn't like being around crowds of people, so reading away from everyone lets her relax a little bit. Although she probably didn't intend it, I can't help but grimace as I recall my first meeting with her. Hardly wanting to bring it up, I remained silent as we quietly continued to walk down the quiet road. Tack, 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 tack. With the road bereft of cars and the students of Yamaku increasingly far behind us, the quiet rustling of the leaves and the measured tapping of Lily's cane against the sidewalk are all that can be heard. It's kind of nice, especially compared to the hustle and bustle of where I used to live. Before I know it, I relax so much that a loud yawn escapes me before I can control it. Tired? Yeah, been running ragged the last few days. That's an understatement to be sure. Transferring into a different school would be bad enough, but nothing like this. Well, hopefully everything should settle down for you. The festival's got everyone in a spin right now, and you've been plopped right into the middle of things. For a moment I hesitate, but given her apparent tolerance for frankness, I decide to give my full thoughts. Yeah, I guess. Yamaku's kind of different though. I mean, the formality surrounding everything, the isolation around it, not to mention the most obvious difference. It's kind of a whole different mindset. I suppose I'll get used to it in time though. She gives a matter-of-fact nod, apparently pleased with my answer. It almost feels like she's included me in the flock of students she's shepherding, along with Class 3-2 and Hanako. Well, not that I mind. It's nice to get the thoughts off my chest in any case. Looking on the bright side, one can see it as a chance for a new beginning. You should cherish the ability to make new friends. That's optimistic. Nonetheless, it's good to have a positive attitude about such things, I suppose. That's a good take on it. Indeed it is. Walking down the road, she seems to become somewhat unsettled. Before I can ask what's on her mind, she seems to collect herself and speaks up about something else. So, where in town are you going? That's actually a pretty good question. I'd come in to buy food, but the layout of the place is still totally foreign to me. I had intended to just wander around and see what I could find, but with sunset already approaching and nightfall not too far away, that doesn't seem very wise. I'm going to have to ask her for directions. Again. I was just going to get some food, but now that you mention it, I don't really know this way. Well now, this is quite lucky. I was just about to go to the convenience store myself. Looks like I'll be in your care again. Then, thanks. Together we walk to the store. My pace is carefully slowed to remain beside her. Compared to my usual walking pace, hers is quite a bit slower, but not that it's without reason. Of course, she's blind. She's not going to be running everywhere. That just... yeah, god damn it. So, the convenience store is called Aura Mart. That's interesting. I wonder if that's a reference to something. After what couldn't be more than several minutes, I catch sight of our objective. This town really is pretty small. Without further ado, we make our way inside with a greeting from the counter. Mind if I tag along with you? Usually Hanako would help me, but seeing as she's not here... It takes a moment before I realise what she means. Considering she wouldn't be able to read any of the labels, shopping without any help would be a big pain for her. That said, I can't shake the feeling that she'd had this idea since I said I was coming here. Sure, it'll be my pleasure. I grabbed two well-used red baskets from the small stack beside the entrance, handing one to Lily. Okay. She lays it on the ground, putting her school bag in it, retracting her cane and sliding it through the basket's handles before picking it up again in her right hand. Wait, if she doesn't use her cane... Before I can complete the thought, she comes beside me and pinches the cup of my uniform in her slender fingers. Aww, that's quite cute. Is this alright? Sure. I have no reason not to accept. I can think of worse things than shopping with a pretty girl holding on to me, even if it is out of necessity. We navigate our way through the store, with not one of the occasional passing customers seeming to bat an eyelid. Of course! I mean, she's lived here for God knows how long. Of course they're not gonna have any kind of weird thoughts about it. It's natural to them. And Lily's a nice person, so... Of course they're not gonna say anything bad. God. Oh my god. Considering how close Yamaku is, I guess seeing students from there must be entirely normal for the local residents. There you go! As we reach one aisle, I quickly check with Lily and find out what she needs. I grab it along with what I'm looking for and put our items into their respective baskets. I guess this is the same routine she and Hanako follow every Friday. Right, all that's left is the bread and that should be my shopping done. Do you need anything else, Lily? No, this should be everything. Off we go then. With a quick side trip to the bakery section, we make our way to the registers. The line, thankfully, is almost non-existent. It's not long before we've both paid for our food and they're out the door. As Lily retrieves her cane and extends it to full length, I waste a minute looking upward toward the night sky while holding both our bags. For a moment, I try to make clouds with my breath, but the summer's heat doesn't seem to cooperate. Ah, it's like the mist that comes out when you breathe. I like doing that. Eventually, she rights herself, taking a quick stretch before taking her bag and leaving me to my two. You tired as well? The festival preparations have been complete chaos. Shiznei breathing down my neck doesn't exactly help things either. Hey, she's only trying to get things organised. Better late than now, right? I suppose. I'm going to enjoy relaxing in town tomorrow, that's for certain. I guess the festival preparations must be taking their toll on both of them. We walk out into the quiet street, talking between ourselves as we carry our bags of food and supplies from the store. Wait, what's that? I notice a very distinctive figure making its way towards us, silhouetted by the street lamps. For a second, I think it's another male student from my class, but as he, or I should say, she, gets closer, I recognise her quickly. That's, thingy. Yep, there we are, that's Rin. Rin? What are you doing out here so late? Rin? Lily perks her head, looking like she's trying to focus on listening more keenly. It suddenly comes to her that I should probably interpret the scene for her. It's Rin, Tezuka, I think was her last name, from our school. She stiffens at the name and gives a complicated-looking expression, something like a forced fusion of a composed smile and a painful cringe. Ah, I understand. I guess Lily knows Rin too. Okay. Rin turns to look at us, looking terribly out of it. I'm not entirely sure if she recognises either of us, or at least she doesn't acknowledge it if she does. She looks like a zombie, or a statue of a zombie. But slowly some symptoms of understanding seems to light her dark eyes. This is something she must react to. Rin blinks once, very thoroughly. What's going on? Hello. ... There's an awkward pause, everyone waiting for someone else to say something. What are you doing here this late? I was wondering about that myself too just now. Some people asked that just before. I assume they were wondering the same. I didn't know. They didn't know either. I asked, that's why I'm wondering. So that was pretty much it. It's a murder mystery without a murder. So it's just a mystery. They were going that way. She turns to facing to her right in order to demonstrate the direction the other people went to, as if that was important, then rotates back like a mechanical puppet in one of those overly complicated clockworks. She's like... God's sake. For a person who gives an impression of being the quiet type, Rin really does use a lot of words to say things that don't need a lot to be said. And sure, if she's finished, I say nothing. Neither does Lily, who seems equally robbed of words for the time being. I think that both of us are just, in fact, scared that any response might provoke her to continue, where our stupefied lack of reaction doesn't faze Rin at all. She keeps looking at us expectantly, a calm hint of expression on her blank face. She seems to be that kind of person, always so relaxed, as if bull elephant grade sedatives were flowing in her veins in place of blood. Yes, mate! She's high all the time! She's Snoop Dogg! Do you have amnesia? I don't recall you having anything of the sort, though. No, I don't think it's that. The other passerby were probably just worried, though. You do look really lost. The way you're standing in the middle of the street. Oh, I see. Maybe I should have taken some other kind of pose in that case. I ponder for a while whether I should chase this angle further or give up for the sake of my own sanity. I decide on the latter. It seems that most of the time it's better not to read too deeply into what Rin is babbling about. Talking with Rin is like playing chess with a supercomputer who does seemingly completely random moves as if to mock everything you know about chess. It's like that, except with human interactions. Okay, and even if I win, it feels like losing. Damn, it's just like Kenji said, even when I win, I lose. Is this the power of girls of Yamaku? This the power of the girls of Yamaku? I push the thought aside, it's too dangerous to consider further. It's probably just Kenji's anti-female propaganda getting to me during a moment of weakness. Yeah, maybe taking another pose might have worked. So anyway, you have no idea what you're doing here? She frowns, looking extremely displeased at either my question, its consequences, or the answer that she's about to give. I do have some idea. I can't really tell what kind of an idea. What are you... That sounds like progress at least. Lily sounds as if she spotted an opening for some kind of discernibly normal conversation. I can't say I share her optimism. Yeah, there is some. Definitely. The rest will come later. I'm not sure of it. I always have reasons. The ensuing silence kills Lily's hopes all too visibly. That didn't last long. Rin's, as far as I can tell, and based assurances aside, what should be done? We can't just leave her to her own devices, whatever those are. But it's late, and I don't think we'll be getting any thanks if Rin is found standing here in the middle of the night. Which she probably will, unless she manages to remember what she was doing here in the first place. As for me trying to guess what that might have been going on in her mind when she decided to embark on this adventure, the chances seem to be on par with winning the lottery. Several times in a row. Lily is oddly quiet too. I'd appreciate some support from the sidelines here, especially if she's more familiar with Rin than I am. But it can't be helped. It seems her familiarity with Rin is exactly why she's staying subdued. So I assume you were going somewhere? Not coming back to the school. Any idea where? Her eyes widen in shock as she jolts back in a somewhat artificial way, making it seem like an act rehearsed for situations like this. Are you a mind reader? Is that your disability? How unique. No? What? Why would you think that? You knew what I was doing. What is that? What? What? It was just an educated guess. We walked the same street in the other direction just before to get to the store. If you're going to school, we could have met you on the way. Oh. She looks a little disappointed. Like Kenji, Rin appears quick to jump to completely irrational conclusions. Maybe it's something in the water here. I make a mental note to stock up on soft drinks. Okay. You know that this is the second time in a week that someone's asked me if I was a mind reader. Do I really give off that impression? Rin shrugs her shoulders, which is all the answer I get. You know, maybe you should come with us back to the school. Lily interjects just as I'm about to further debunk my alleged mind-reading capabilities. She sounds rather concerned, the paper-thin smile on her face badly disguising that fact. Maybe she came to the same conclusion I did. For everyone's sake. I decided to let the mind-reading topic drop, as it's entirely inane anyway. Yeah, Lily's right. If you can't remember, there's no point staying here. Rin considers this rather simple deduction for a moment, then nods. Okay. What is wrong with this girl? We start towards the school again, having wasted way more time than necessary with this episode. Yes! I've wasted way more time than necessary with this episode! Oh my days! I'm moving around because it's uncomfortable. Rin walks along the edge of the sidewalk in a rhythmic way, looking like a mix of the sleepwalker and rope dancer, while Lily keeps one hand on my shoulder, tapping at the ground with her cane. Tap, step, step, tap, tap, step, step, step. Apart from that and a few fragmented beginnings of conversation, it's quiet. Quiet, quite apart from the relaxing one in town at that. So how's the mural going? We're going to get bad luck. Never talk about works in progress. I'm sure it'll be wonderful. Bad luck. Tap, step, tap, step. She doesn't care to talk about it. Lily's politeness feels out of place for the first time. Step, step, step. The hill Yamaku rests on top of is surprisingly steep going uphill. We slow the pace, but I still feel my pulse rising and breathing getting heavier. Almost there. I can see the gates already. More than that though, I notice that Lily's hand is slightly tightened on my shoulder, interpreting it as a gesture that she wants to ask something. I speak up. Anything wrong, Lily? I resist the urge to say, aside from our travelling companion, but only just. For a moment, she seems to debate whether she should even bring it up, but goes for it anyway. Is everything alright? Alright? How do you mean? The fact I can't interpret her incredibly vague question puts her off for a second. It's just, you seem unusually tired, I guess. Now that she brings it up, I notice that my breathing is strangely heavy. The uphill walk has really done a job on me. Lily noticed it all too quickly. Choices, choices, choices! I don't know. Honestly, I don't want to tell Lily. I don't know why, but I really get the feeling that I don't want to tell Lily. I don't know! Okay, I gave it some thought, because I felt like that was going to take too long on camera, and I've decided I am going to talk about it, because if I don't, I feel like something bad's going to happen, and my choices in games like these are not very good, so whatever I decide I'm going to logically think about, I'm going to do the opposite. So he's got to worry about his health. He nearly died before he had a heart attack, so using that logic, I'm going to speak to her about it. It's alright, I just need to catch my breath. My condition isn't the best these days. Oh, is it something that is related to you being transferred here? I mean... She cuts herself off rather abruptly, maybe realising she was a bit intrusive. Her instincts are sharp though, and while I don't like the subject, it's not like I should lie about it. If it's Lily, I don't think I mind. I'm just a little weak for the time being. Hanako said you look fairly healthy, so I naturally thought Lily doesn't finish her sentence again, letting it trail off with a measure of concern. As she furrows her brow, Lily's uncomfortable expression spurs me to say at least something to ease her feelings. It's surprising that she's this flustered, considering her straightforward attitude with her own blindness. She must know that not all share her own comfort about such things. No, it's okay. I have a pretty... I guess the best way to put it would be messed up heart. Arrhythmia. I had a bad heart attack a while ago because of it, and spent most of the spring in hospital. Ended in Yamaku on doctor's orders. She silently nods her head in acknowledgement. My answer, though, only seems to make Lily furrow her brow even further. She doesn't seem to quite know how to react, given we don't really know each other that well. I can't really fault her for it, given I have the exact same reaction. To my surprise, in a moment's time, her face shows that she comes to some sort of realization. Wait, so the time when Emmy and you collided in the hallway? I grimace slightly. Her ability to connect the dots quite so fast is unexpected. Yeah, I guess I'm a textbook example of why those rules about running in the corridors exist. That was a lot more dry than I'd intended. Lily visibly shies away from continuing the topic. While I do want to assuage her concern, I really don't want to dwell on this either. Don't worry about it. I try to offer a reassuring smile, then I realise the futility. Without knowing this, Lily smiles at me reassuringly but doesn't say anything further. Arriving at the dorms, Rin stops in front of her mural as if lightning struck her. She'd been so quiet for most of the walk back that I had all but forgotten she was there. It's Friday, isn't it? Yes, Friday, the 8th of June. This is bad. Bad? Why? I think I'm going to go into a fetal position and throw up, possibly in reverse order. Is something wrong? No, nothing's wrong. It's Friday and nothing is wrong yet. This mural, it's got to be finished by Sunday, so everything's all right. Do you have any drugs or a time machine? This is not good. Not good. She's behind her schedule. Recalling Shiznae's exasperation at Rin's carefree attitude several days ago, I don't know what to think. She has left herself open for a told you so, unless she can pull off whatever she needs to pull off by Sunday morning. Rin keeps staring at her mural, looking mortified as she can. Leave me. I'm going to need to work for a while. I glance at Lily, expecting her to share an incredulous look at me as I roll my eyes, but then I realise she's not one to do that kind of thing. Leave me. Okay. Chill! We do, of course, not wanting to aggravate her any more than she already is. There's a churning bad feeling in my gut. Rin sure has a knack of making people feel worried about her. She seems like a person who should never be left alone. Maybe we should call someone. She sounded like she was going to go into shock or something. I'm sure she'll be just fine. She's just, how to say... Lily cocks her head a little, trying to find a polite way of calling Rin crazy without calling her crazy. Unique? Yes, a very unique person. I guess you could say that. She giggles at the notion melodiously, nodding in agreement. Sorry about leaving you stranded as you talk to her. I don't really understand her, so I keep my distance. So my guess was right. Lily offers a slight apologetic smile as if she was sorry that her own shortcomings had prevented her from coming closer to Rin. I'm not one to blame her at all. Lily lets slip a long breath, probably a disguised yawn. I imagine she's as exhausted by all this as I am. I'd better leave now and give these to Hanako. Thank you for the company, Hazao. She smiles very sweetly at me. It feels different than normal, despite the fact that she seems to be smiling so often. I can't put my finger on what the difference is, it's just different. Relaxed, I'd say, but that's probably just relief over getting rid of Rin, maybe. Yeah, good night. Say hi to Hanako for me. I will. Good night. I don't know if I've done something wrong. Only time will tell. But anyway, that's where we're going to end this episode. It's slightly longer than usual, which I'm not too thrilled about, but, you know, what can we do? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, don't forget to leave a like and all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next episode. Hope you have a great day and a great life, and I will see you later. Take care of yourselves.